from the golf tournament. All right, Shukita Duncan from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Welcome. Hello. Elisa from Westchester County, New York. Hello, welcome. All right, awesome. We're going to go ahead and get our slide presentation started. Recruit and retain top talent. Today we are Module 2. Scout, sign, and play the right agents at your brokerage firm. All righty. All right, we got Pat from Wallingford, Connecticut. Welcome, Pat. Thank you for joining us. And again, I am here at Riverwalk Golf Course in San Diego. It's actually in the Fashion Valley area, which is in Mission Valley. And we're having it's a little overcast, but actually the sun's going to come out, I can tell, and it's still a really beautiful view. So anyway, I hope everybody is having a great day and we are ready to get started. All right, so who's ready to learn about top talent real estate agents? Woohoo! All right, welcome everybody. Today we're going to learn about recruiting agents and how to pay them, compensation, that type of thing. And we will be hitting a grand slam today. This is part of our masterclass series. And our goal today is not just to play the game, but to change it. And we're changing the game of real estate. So who's ready to get started? We're going to keep going here. And as you know, our company, MBA Broker Consultants, we offer this online course as well as other online courses, consulting, presentations, and things like that. And this is our second in a series. So our series has been on agent recruiting. We actually have 10 in the whole series. And this particular module is module number 2, which is compensation package value. In other words, what do agents want and what do I offer? What's my unique service proposition or unique value proposition? And I think y'all know me. Hi, Regina Brown. All right, who's ready? Second inning, agent compensation package and value proposition. Woohoo! All right, so we'll go over 4 things today in module 2. The first will be different compensation models. Then we'll go over tools and benefits, affiliate and ancillary services, and incentives and perks. Now, I'm coming to you live today from a golf course, and I'm inside. They are setting up for a lunch today, so there is a little bit of background noise, but just stay with me. All right, so we have an activity workbook. Let me go ahead and make that chat if you're able to get the activity workbook for module number 2. Okay, there we go. We're going to start with a little poll here. How does your compensation compare to your competitors? So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and put the poll up and just go ahead and answer. The answers are A, B, or C. So A is agents at our company earn less than our competitors. B is about the same. And C is agents at our company earn more. So go ahead and choose one there. Okay, everybody, we're doing great. 50% said about the same. Oh, it's down to 33% now. 67% agents at our company earn more, which is great. Woohoo! It's great if you're profitable too. I guess that's the most important thing, right? Not how you compare the competition, but are you profitable? And maybe your competition is not if they're have low fees. So, all right, so let's keep going here. So number 1 is compensation models. And let's find out a little more. If you have your workbook there, you can just follow along. So the first thing that we need to know about is value proposition, right? So our value proposition is based on the product or service offering mix and what kind of value are you offering to your agents. And the value basically means that the services they receive exceeds payment. So value doesn't necessarily mean high or low, but just that they feel that they got a good deal. So what do you offer that's unique, different, innovative, or just helps the agent succeed? And that is your value proposition. Go ahead and write some notes down on your worksheet about what you offer at your brokerage. So the first thing we need to talk about is, who are your customers? Now, I know with some brokerage owners, we tend to think of our customers as buyers and sellers, which is true to some extent, but those are not actually the people that we need to make happy, because those are serviced by our agents, and we actually need to service our agents first as our first customers. Buyers and sellers are our secondary customers, right? So with the independent brokerage owners, we're going to start with our agents, and that's where our focus is going to be as our primary customers. Now, you may ask, what happens if we have multiple offices? What happens if we have a franchisor business model? So if you have either of those, I just turned on my little whiteboard here, but you can see over here, if you're a brokerage owner, okay, let me turn off my video. There we go. And here you are, the brokerage owner. You have several offices. Each office has their own office manager. Now, who are your customers? Now your customers aren't the agents. Your customers are the office managers, or your branch managers, or a district manager, or whatever you have. And then their customers are the agents, right? So you have a first line here, then a second line, and then it goes to your buyers and sellers after that. And same thing if you're a franchisor and you have brokerages. Oops, that's not a very good circle. And they subscribe to your franchise, right? Then who are your customers? And then the brokerages are your customers. So a couple different business models. The most important thing that I want you to start thinking about is, ask yourself, who are my customers? Who do I need to be pleasing? Who do I need to make sure they're happy? Who do I create products and services to target to this audience? And so always keep that in mind when you're talking about marketing and your unique service proposition. Okay, I hope that helped a little bit. Okay, our next slide. What do agents want? Well, if we're on social media, like, I am in Lab Coats and a lot of other groups, we see that agents have a variety of needs. But one thing they always talk about is commission splits and fees. And we'll even see them change brokerages based on commission splits or fees, or at least they think they do, right, on the outside. Also, there's a big talk about tech tools. So agents say, well, I like this tech tool, does this, it does that. But we really find out once we become a brokerage owner that agents who say they want all these tech tools, many of them don't use it. In fact, the adoption rate of some of these tech tools that we pay for could be 30% or lower among our agents. So do they really want that? And the next thing we have on our list is lead generation and systems. And last week we talked about a feature versus a benefit. So having a lead gen system is not a benefit. Okay, it's just a feature. It's something you offer. The benefit is that the agent says, oh, I can close 3 transactions per month because I'm provided the leads, right? So make sure that you understand the difference between offering something and how it's actually used or benefiting that agent. Okay, so also culture and mindset is a huge, huge thing. We really don't hear that talked about very much, but it's more of an emotional decision that an agent will make. Does this company line up with where I want to be? Do they have leaders that can inspire me and motivate me? Do they have mentors who can train me and teach me and coach me? So those are part of the questions they're asking themselves subconsciously, and we covered a lot of that in the last module. Education and training is so important, but again, this is where it comes to a feature versus a benefit, right? So offering education and training is good, it's great, but it means nothing if the agents can't take that and use that to produce sales. So again, they may say they want education and training, but what they really want is they want help closing more transactions. Education and training may be the tool to get them there, and it probably is a good one, but again, feature versus benefit. And the last one I have on here is corporate accounts. And one of the things I've noticed is we as brokerage owners, we depend on our agents to be able to bring production to the company. Now, I want you to start thinking how to reverse that in your mind a little bit. Instead of relying on the agents to bring onesie, twosie sales in, start thinking about how you, as a brokerage owner, can bring in corporate accounts with many transactions, multiple transactions per month, and how you can divide that among your agents. So instead of relying on the agents for all of your production, or yourself for your own individual production, start to replace that with some type of a corporate account where you can do massive transactions and you are actually driving the train of your business. Now, by you taking the reins, driving the train of profitability, production, revenue into your company, now you don't have to work so hard to go look for agents. Why? Because they're going to be attracted to you and come to your company. We talked about a lot of this in last week's module too. So what do you offer? Whatever you do offer, that's your product mix package. It's going to include things like your service mix, like what type of services do you offer? It includes your profit centers. How many ways do you have available to your agents that they can earn revenue? So yes, it's great to have residential sales, but maybe you also have property management accounts. Maybe you have REO accounts. Maybe you have commercial sales. Maybe you have projects that you're working on or new home builds. So these are all things that your agents have more opportunity to earn more money if you have more profit centers. Maybe you do affiliate or ancillary services that they can offer, like maybe a home warranty that they can offer to their end user, the buyers or sellers, and they get a small piece of each one of those services when they're ordered. Perhaps you have some kind of incentive system in place, which we're going to talk about today. Okay. And then number 3 in the product mix is your success systems. What do you have built up for them to be able to profit? What do you have that built up for them, like we just said a minute ago, as far as training, education, tech tools? What's in place for them to help them succeed? All right, we've got another little poll for you. So let's just pause and take our poll here. Whoops. Oh, I forgot to end the other poll. Okay, so we just ended the compensation poll. Now we got a new one. And our poll is, what compensation model is best? Now, I would like to say, to start us off, there is no one right answer. And you don't have to answer whatever you're currently doing at your brokerage, because you might be looking around and thinking that you see somebody else or another company, a competitor with a different compensation model that intrigues you, and maybe you're researching it right now. So which model do you think is best? A, percentage of transactions. B is flat fee per month or a flat fee per transaction. And C is the employee model with salary or hourly pay plus benefits. All right, so we have, so far everybody is saying a percentage of transactions. Okay, somebody just said flat fee. Okay, that's great. I wanted to point out one thing to you. Oh, by the way, in a bit, I'm going to show you an example of my flat fee transaction model. It's on a sliding scale. But I want to talk very, very briefly about salary or hourly, basically the employee model replacing the independent contractor model. And I see that coming down the road. As a matter of fact, there's a new law that's at the California state legislature that may be passed that would require real estate agents to be basically to be employees rather than independent contractors, and that would change our entire industry model, wouldn't it? So it's something to look for. Okay, let's go back to our little poll here. All right, we got 75% said A, 25% said B, 0 said C. Okay, but I know nobody said that, but I want you to be thinking about that for the future. I'm definitely looking around at that. All right, so how many different compensation plans do we have? Well, we just said we have a percentage split. Those may have a cap or may not, but either way, a percentage split is one of the most popular plans. That's the traditional plan. We have a flat monthly fee where the agents pay, $50 a month, $200 a month, $300 or $500, whatever it is, a flat fee every single month rather than paying a percentage split. The third one is a transaction fee, and that might be a flat or a sliding scale. I'm going to show you one on a sliding scale in just a minute, but they pay per transaction closed. Now, there may be a combination of the flat monthly fee and a transaction fee. In other words, the agents pay $100 a month, and then when they close a transaction, they pay an additional fee. Okay, so that would be sort of the hybrid model. Then we have the hourly, which is an employee model, or it could be a salary. If you do salary, I do suggest a very low monthly salary with very high bonuses, so they're still incentivized for production, right? If you have the employee model. Now, one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to mix employee model with independent contractor model. That would be difficult to implement and it could be a problem as well with the labor board. So definitely consult your attorney about your compensation plan and your accountant as well, of course, right? We want to make sure it's profitable and legal. Also on here, we have an incentive for referring agents, which is a great way to help you recruit by incentivizing your agents to bring their friends aboard. And then lastly, we have profit sharing, which is a bonus, and we're going to talk about that more towards the end of today. All right, so here I'm sharing with you a plan that we actually use in our company. You can see I have zeroed out all the dollar amounts simply because we don't want to share those exact dollar amounts, and not that it's a big secret, but we definitely don't want to violate any antitrust rules. So anyway, you can see that. Let me turn on the whiteboard here. Okay, got the whiteboard on. And I'm going to go ahead and show you here. So here we have different categories over on the left. And that's copper, bronze, silver, gold, platinum. That's what we named them. And they're based on the transaction amount. You can see if an agent has a low transaction amount, up to $100,000, that they pay the lowest fee. Whereas if they have a high amount, up to $1 million, they pay the higher fee. Of course, there are some additional, there is a minimum if they're below 100,000, and if they're above, there's a maximum, right? And then for transactions above $1 million, we add on more as well, right? Okay, and then we start right here with, we call these our associate power levels. And these are based on the agent's experience level. The reason I created this sliding scale is because I discovered that when I had brand new agents, I had to hold their hand and teach them everything from start to finish. And doing that took me a lot of time. And so therefore, I really couldn't afford to pay them as much. I had to account for the cost of my time as well, because my time could have been spent making money doing something else. So we have those sort of newbie agents, which I'll explain sort of newbie in a minute, but we call them rookies. And those are agents who have closed between 3 to 10 transactions. And then we have those, once they've closed more than 10, they move up to the champion level. I believe that's up to 25 transactions. And then once they close out, they move up to the master level, which is our highest level. And that means that they pay a lower amount on each of these. Okay, so now that you've seen that, down here you can also see newly licensed agents with less than 3 transactions. They're actually not on the chart. They're called sprinters, and we do it's just a split for them, a kind of a even split, I guess you would call it. But actually, I think it doesn't really even account for my time that I spend with the brand new licensed agents. So you can see here, this is a good example that can help you see how a flat fee can be very useful, because ours is a sliding scale based on several different factors. I put a lot of thought into this format and this concept to make sure that it's fair to all people, that in other words, the agents are compensated fairly, and that we as a brokerage also are profitable on every single transaction. Okay, if anybody has any questions, please let me know. We're going to keep going here. Questions, comments, let us know. We got a lot of people on this morning. Wonderful. The bottom line is that you, as a brokerage owner, you need to do the math. You need to do the math and determine what is profitable for you and what will work for you. I know there are some brokerages who say that it's okay to take a loss on your agents because you're offering ancillary services and that's where you're making your money. I personally do not subscribe to that theory, nor do I advise you to do that. I myself, as a brokerage owner, I need to make a profit on every single transaction and every single agent. I don't believe in the loss theory, because I've seen a lot of those companies and they have gone out of business. I don't believe that's a sustainable business model, and I don't advocate that. Do the math, make sure everything is profitable for you before you implement it. That's why I like my sliding scale fee. It works so well. It's a win-win for the agent. It's a win-win for the brokerage. I did that for years. It worked very well, like clockwork, and it was always very profitable. Okay, any questions, please let us know. We're going to move on here to number 2, tools and benefits. All right, tools and benefits. In other words, what are we going to offer the agents besides just compensation? One of the things that we need to think about as a brokerage owner is, are we going to be a franchise or an independent brokerage, not affiliated with a franchise? Okay, so what are the good things about the franchise? Well, first of all, they have brand name credibility, instant recognition in the marketplace. Consumers view them as trustworthy. They have a proven success system, right? They offer you everything, a kit in a box, ready to go. And the only downside of a franchise, the main downside, I guess, is there is a cost and a commitment required. Now, as an independent brokerage, you could save money by not having a franchise. But on the other hand, the agents may be looking for that credibility, that name. I mean, it's no surprise that most agents who are with a firm will be affiliated with a brand name. I mean, when you look at the bigger brokerages, there's a reason why very few independents are able to attract large number of agents, and a lot of it has to do with the brand name and the recognition, because that's something that has built in the marketplace. There's a perceived value in that, and that's something you as a brokerage owner need to consider when you're looking at the value that you bring to your company and for your agents. If you're not able to recruit the kind of agents that you want, and maybe you need to go back and look at your business model again. And again, this is part of the business model. Okay, I'll give you a minute. I see some questions coming in, so I'm going to give you a minute for that. Okay, had to shut a door there. All right, we have a question from Michaela. Do you have agents that are only referral agents? How do you charge for that if you have them or would take them on? By referral agents, I mean agents who just get splits for the people they refer to other agents. Okay, that is a great question. I did not address that here, so I will go ahead and address that now. And the answer is each brokerage has to make a decision based on their business model. For me, I choose to have referral-only agents. Now, a referral-only agent is an agent who wants to hang their license, and they want to, they're not going to be involved in sales and directly, but they want to refer friends and family and occasionally, and make sure that they can earn a referral fee for that. So therefore, they're not going to be paying the realtor fees, the MLS dues, and all that. So you probably want to have a separate business entity for your referral agents for a few different reasons. One of the reasons is because you'll probably have to pay MLS and realtor fees on them if they are in the same organization, right? So that's what I do, is I put them in a different organization. So yes, we do have on our compensation chart, to answer your question, we do have a separate line items for referrals and referral fees and things like that. So those agents, they still sign the same independent contractor agreement, but we do have them sign something that they're basically putting their license on ice. They're really not going to be using it, and therefore we don't have to be charged MLS dues and realtor fees and that type of thing. So they're not using their license actively to go out and find buyers and sellers. Basically, they're just hanging their license for referrals. And there are some companies that specialize in those kind of agents, and there are other brokerages who refuse to take those types of agents. Again, so I think it could be good, as long as you monitor what they're doing, making sure that they're not out there soliciting buyers and sellers, because otherwise they probably would have to be obligated to have you pay their MLS fees and realtor dues. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. That was a great question there. Keep them coming. Here's an example of some really great real estate franchises for you to think about. We were just talking about franchises. Okay, now, so we said agents seek, besides seeking money, which is right in the middle there, they also seek other things that are part of the overall value package, right? So, money is right in the middle. I mean, that's kind of obvious. Oh, where's my drawer? Oh, there we go. All right. But we just talked about brand, right? Franchise versus independent. Culture is so critical. We went over that in the last module. training. They don't necessarily want training per se, but they want the results that come from the training. Location, right? That is it near, number one, their house and convenient, or number two, is it near the market center that they serve or they want to serve? Okay, what about perks? What else comes with it besides just money or financial things? And then we have growth, right? Growth is so important, and that is critical, because when an agent hits a plateau in their career and they don't know what to do, well, oftentimes they'll switch to another company. But if they have an internal opportunity for growth, they'll probably consider that instead of going out of business or moving to another brokerage. Oh, okay, gotta clear that. Okay, so now we're looking at some tech tools. Now, you gotta love when you see those brokerages, and I'm not picking on anybody, so if you do this, we can all laugh about it together, right? But they say, we have this, we have that, but wait, there's more. We have this tech tool, we have that tool, and they produce a list of 100 different tech tools, thinking that that's what agents need. All they need is more tech tools, and they'll succeed, they'll be profitable. Come over to our company and we'll throw a million tech tools at you. Well, it is good to have tech tools, but again, let's focus not just on the tech tools, but how you can implement that to help your agents earn a profit. Okay, so we have a few tech tools here, and I suggest that instead of just throwing out a list of all the tools you have, show how they can use that to make money at your company, right? A CRM. And I know a lot of the brokerage owners who do offer CRMs. They pay for it every month for their agents, and the adoption rate can be 25 to 30%. So do they really all want that, right? Or do they maybe need help using it once they have it? Lead gen, okay, that's important. Reviews, website, e-signing, site design, which is for your marketing online and your collateral. So these are some of the things I suggest. Again, maybe showing them instead of telling them, and show them how these can make them more profitable. Okay, any questions? The important thing is to know your competitors. Who are your competitors, and why are they succeeding? Now, I don't think you need to know, your little competitors who are maybe mom and pop shops, and, they're only selling a few houses a year. But those who are on your radar, who have the top producers that you want to target and recruit, you need to know what they're offering that attracts agents to their company, and why those agents choose to stay there. By understanding and knowing your competitors, you can create a better plan for yourself and your company that can lure those agents over to your company, right? Something that makes them want to check you out, even though they might be at a big brand. What do you have that's exciting, interesting? What is it about your success system, or the energy and excitement, your atmosphere there, right? Your culture that can bring them over. So it's really, really important to know your competitors, know what type of plan they're offering, know what type of incentives they have, know what their average agent is selling, and not just selling, but what is their bottom line. Because again, you're going to do a net sheet. When the agents come to you for an interview, you're going to say, here's what our fees are, but more importantly, here's what you can net. Here's what some of our producers net, the bottom line at their company. Okay. All right, number 3, affiliate and ancillary services. So we're going to start with a little poll here. How many ancillary services do you offer? And I'll explain that as we get the poll started here. How many ancillary services do you offer? All right, the poll is up now. A is none or 0. B is 1 to 5. And C is 6 or more. Now, an ancillary service might be a home warranty, might be an escrow service, or it could even be a mortgage loan. We'll see about that in a minute. All these types of things could be considered ancillary services. In other words, it's a profit center for you as a brokerage. Where are you making money besides just sales or transactions that are closing? Okay, we have everybody responding is at none, which is A. I'm sure we must have somebody here with an ancillary service. Come on, we'll give you one more minute. All right, while you're waiting, I'll check and see how the golf course is doing. All right, it's looking good out there. Okay, yes. Fabulous day out there. All right. Any more? Okay, we're going to go ahead and end the poll. I guess it's 100% is a none for right now, but we'll wait for, see if somebody else responds. Now, one other thing you do need to remember when you have the ancillary services, you're going to have to do a RESPA disclosure. That's fine. For me, I'd much rather be able to offer the service and have to do a disclosure than to not have the opportunity to make additional profit out of that transaction. I mean, if you have a home seller who's moving into a house, they're going to have a home warranty anyway. Somebody's going to provide it. You might as well earn perhaps a referral fee from that company, even if you do have to do a RESPA disclosure, right? Okay, awesome. We're going to go ahead and end the poll. Keep going here. So now let's talk about 5 main areas of brokerage ancillary business opportunities: settlement services, space rental, agent services, consumer services, and other revenue sources. Okay, Lisa says you're looking to implement some. Okay, awesome, great. Okay, so the first is settlement services. Where can you earn additional revenue? It could be from title. Now, all of these are not necessarily mean that you have to have them in-house. For example, title, maybe you can own part of a title company. Maybe you can receive a referral fee if it's allowed by RESPA. If not, you can't do it. And I'm just saying in general for each of these things, right? Title, escrow, insurance, mortgage, right? Now, I know mortgage is very strict about kickbacks and referral fees, but it is not illegal to earn a referral fee. You just have to make sure that you follow the regulations and comply with all of the regulations to be able to earn that referral fee. And I'm not going to go over what the requirements are. I do know what it is. And there are a certain number of things that you as the brokerage owner have to perform for the mortgage in order to earn that fee, but it is possible to do that, and there are companies that successfully do that. Another way you could do it is to have a marketing services agreement, which is an MSA signed with the mortgage company. And then a third way is to be an owner or partner of a mortgage company. And again, I always suggest having a separate corporation, not the same one as your real estate brokerage that you use for residential sales. Okay. And as I said before, always ensure that you're in compliance with RESPA and have a full disclosure. I know, for example, title companies in California are regulated very strongly, and in other states they're not. So it might depend on not just federal RESPA laws, but also your state laws, so be sure to check on that. Escrow company, for example, in California can be licensed under Department of Corporations. It can be licensed as part of a real estate brokerage or a financial company. So there are different ways that escrow companies can be created and in compliance, but also know you might up your chances of an audit. As a matter of fact, I just heard yesterday from a real estate attorney in California that if you have a brokerage owned escrow company, you have a 100% chance of being audited. So anyway, that's something to think about as well. An audit's not bad, and I wouldn't necessarily avoid doing business because of it, but you do need to make sure that you have all your ducks in a row, your T's crossed and your I's dotted, right? Oh, hey, Janice, jumped in late. You said, okay, welcome. Glad to have you here today. Awesome. I don't know if you can see, but I'm at a beautiful golf course called Riverwalk in San Diego area. And we're here for a golf tournament with NAREP. So I just thought I'd come and, do my webinar live here today. So, alrighty, next slide. Okay, space rental. Space rental is another great idea for additional revenue and income. I won't go over all of them. You can see the list, and I believe they're in your notes there as well. But there are many different ideas you can use to rent out some of your space in your building, either leasing it or by room or on a flex basis or whatever it is. There are ideas for companies that are a natural fit for your real estate brokerage that can help you increase your income in multiple ways. So it's a little bit thinking outside the box, right? What about your agents? Can you earn additional revenue from your agents? Well, if you're charging them a super low flat fee, then yes, you probably do need to do that. Okay? The reason is because if you're using your low flat fee as a price leader, then you still need to make a profit on something else. And if you are making a profit, why not increase your revenue and your bottom line, right? So there are things that internally agents need that they pay for that you may be able to charge a little extra for and help you use those funds to offset your costs, your overhead. Transaction coordinator, virtual assistant. What about a direct deposit bank charge, right? And all of those types of things. Any questions? Okay, no questions. We're going to keep going on. What about, okay, for some reason, I have a slide that did not show up. Okay, but this slide says services for your consumers. We talked about home warranty, mortgage. What are things that your end user, the buyers and sellers, need that you can provide, and that you can get more bites out of the same apple. And then we have other revenue sources. We have property management, wholesaling and investing, appraisal. There are many different revenue sources, and it's important to have a nice solid base of revenue sources so you're not relying on just sales when sales go away, right? And I'm not saying that they're going to go away entirely, but when the market shifts, you don't want to be left in a lurch and have no plan B. So we have a few little tips for you. I'm not going to read through them all, but some of them I talked about before. Limit your liability using separate corporations. And another one is to screen the vendors to make sure that you're only offering high quality service providers, people that you would feel confident recommending to your clients. That's really important. And then to get your agents to use some of these services, offer them some incentives, right? So if there's a, say, for example, home warranty company, and you're getting a referral fee for those, why not split that with your agent? It gives them an incentive to be able to recommend your company, and you'll have a higher rate of adoption. Okay. Last is RESPA compliance, as I mentioned. Number 4, incentives and perks. So what are some other incentives that you can offer to your agents? Cash bonus. Money's always good. We like money in our pocket. Everybody likes that. What about lead distribution? Being at the top of the rotor when those hot leads come in. What about an income stream? An income stream, maybe real estate, but maybe something else. For example, I have agents, brokerages that have a credit counseling service or something like that, and a legal subscription service. Those are other income streams that your agents can have access to. Insurance companies, things like that. Recognition, we'll talk about that in a minute. A team distinction. What about sitting down with them and going over their life goals, how you get from plan A to plan B, and helping them plan each phase of that? Because real estate is, a small part of a person's life. They have a career and they have other things that they want to accomplish, and they want to make sure that their life plan is in place, not just one piece of it. And how do we make sure that our services, our real estate, fits into that plan, real estate sells. So incentives are really important because they help to reward people for their efforts. And also it reinforces behavior that you want them to repeat over and over again by giving them an incentive. It also builds loyalty among your core agents and creates a good culture, a culture of gratitude, appreciation, and that can really boost your whole company, having such a wonderful culture and having people be appreciative of others. Now you might say, oh, Regina, I'm on a budget. I don't have a lot of money for incentives. I've got some ideas for you here. I call them low cost and no cost incentives. And the first one is recognition. Who doesn't love recognition, right? That's the easiest, quickest way to give somebody an incentive. Is just give them a pat on the back in front of their peers, mention their name at a staff meeting, compliment them on something publicly, could be even be on social media. An award, you can do a certificate that doesn't cost much. You can even do trophies every quarter, every year. That doesn't cost much for the amount of goodwill that you're building, right? You can offer free training to certain people who have achieved a level of production at your company, or mentoring where they can meet with you one-on-one as their personal mentor for an hour or 2 hours a week. And then of course sending a thank you card costs nothing but a stamp in the mail, and it's always unexpected and highly appreciated. Do you give incentives to your agents for recruiting? We talked about that a minute ago, but it's great to incentivize your agents for recruiting. Why? Because they know other agents, and word of mouth from happy agent to an agent who's curious is the best type of advertising that you could possibly do. So incentivize your agents. And also, what about retirement plans? Selling real estate is not a retirement plan. It's just get you from here to there, right? It's just a point A to point B. So if you really want your agents to be vested in your company, what kind of incentives can you offer them to help with their retirement plans, whether it's, investing in real estate or an IRA account or self-directed IRA or whatever it is, something to think about. So any questions at this time? Questions? Okay, I'm back. So see the golf course there. Hi, everybody. Okay, no questions. We're going to keep going. We do have a little gift for you today, and our gift is going to be something great. Wait for it. Okay, there it is. Our Tech Tools Report, 2019 Real Estate Brokerage Tech Tools Report. It's not available in here, so you'll have to contact me to receive it. But it's all about the 72 different types of tech tools that you use in your real estate brokerage, and what other brokerages are using them, which are not using them, which are the favorite. And it'll give you some great ideas of some new tech tools productivity tools that you can pursue as well. Okay. All right. I don't see any questions, but we're going to keep going. Now, last week we talked about our master class for brokerage owners. I want to talk about that very briefly here again today. What happened last week is I gave you the wrong link, so I felt kind of bad about that. I do have the right link this time. Now, this link will give you a half price discount on all 12 courses. As you know, this was our flagship series called Build Your Brokerage Empire. We have 12 different courses online that take you from start all the way to finish. Online access 24/7, 365. And each course comes with an activity worksheet, comes with bonus content, awesome resources. And if you purchase each class individually, it's $99. But if you get the whole package, it's $590 for 12, which is an awesome deal itself. In addition, we're giving you another half off that today. So it's $295 today. Just go ahead and click that for the half price discount. Now, while you're over there looking at the courses, one of them that you'll probably see is a class called Agent Production and Profitability. And in that one, it's sort of what we learned here today, but it's a step much farther because we actually have an Excel worksheet, and I give that to you free. You can download that, and we actually learn how to crunch the numbers and find out if our agent business model is profitable and which agents are costing us money, which agents are earning us money, and the whole just the whole perks, benefits, how much those are costing us. And we really just break it all down to the penny to understand our business model and make sure that our agents are, number one, being paid fairly, but number two, the brokerage is being paid fairly as well for the services and products that are being offered and what it's costing us as a brokerage owner. Okay. All right. Any questions? I'll give you a minute. I'm going to just shut this door here real quick. Okay, it's getting kind of loud here as the golfers are coming in. So our next module, next week, please stay tuned. We're calling it the third inning, a farm team in training. And we will look at, just like when you have a sports team like baseball, you don't, recruit them and put them in the first string. You recruit them and you get them ready, or you might put them on a farm team and train them and, move them up into that position. So we're going to look at moving your agents up through training, mentoring, coaching, up through that production. And that'll be our module next week. So thank you, everybody. Oh, Michaela said, how do we contact you to get the bonus? Okay, I'm going to put my email in. Regina at MBA Broker Consultants.com. Okay, I just want, Elisa said thank you. Thank you. I just put my email in, Regina at mbabrokerconsultants.com. Feel free to reach out to me. And today's topic again was recruit and retain top talent. We learned all about how to scout, sign, and play the right agents at your real estate brokerage firm. Have a great Wealthy Winning Wednesday. Michaela says, thank you so much. As always, great content. Woohoo! Yay, everybody. Okay, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.